Thank you so very much, Emmanuel. Thank you so very much, Samuel. Thank you so much, Doctor, the previous speaker who introduced me to this August meeting. And thank you so very much to all of you. Please, can we all mute our microphone, sorry. Can we all mute our microphones so that it will not be making noise while we are speaking? No echo. That will help us to prevent the echoes. Okay, and also I want to already apologize to all of you that are watching us because I have a special room here in my place that we use as a Zoom room, but we have some technical difficulties today. We are still in the studio and recording it, so the quality we are recording is going to be much better than what you are seeing right now. But we'll give you that also, our own quality later on. But just bear with us. So I want to say that, thank God that young people are addressing serious issues of governance in our country. And I want to thank you for risking it to invite me. It's not easy to have anything to do with me because I am unconventional in my thinking and in my approach to resolving Nigeria's problem. And thank God that Emmanuel spoke, that he read my book, and that has helped to prepare you to see how my mind works in regards to solving problems in general, not just in Nigeria, but wherever I find myself. But for people who have not taken the pain and gone through the pain of reading my books and getting to listen to many of my resources, even if they have just listened to a few, they are going to have trouble. They are going to have problems listening to me and digesting my thoughts and trying to see with me where I'm coming from. Most people just get annoyed and angry when they listen to me. So it's very simple to prove. Go to Facebook and see people's comments on my publications and on my posts and my thoughts. People just think that I'm either crazy or I'm being paid by some politicians to do what I'm doing or something like that. But they don't know that I've been too long in this business than to be compromised or be paid by anybody. They don't know where I'm coming from. They don't know my histories. They just see somebody talking on Facebook and think this person is just the most stupid person out there to talk. But anyway, thank God that you are a bit prepared. That is just one book that Emmanuel spoke about. Of course, I've got, in English, maybe I have 200 books, close to 200 books in English. But in general, with Russian language and things, I probably have over 400, going to 500 books. So, okay. Today, I personally would like to talk about the way I would like to approach this, because you want me to talk about revitalized economy, politics, government, and revitalized economy. Well, the way I would like to approach this is to zero in on the youth, because the organizers of this program are mainly young people of our country. I want to better talk to you people as young people on how to revitalize our economy as young people. Forget the government. Forget the presidents or the governors. Let's take charge of our own country by ourselves. Let's step out and take responsibility for our nation. That's the way I would like to address this. Let's see ourselves as the future of the country, as young people. A nation is built out of its human capital and human resources. The strength of a nation is the ability of that country to galvanize the human resources of the populace, of the citizens. Now, the human resources or human capital is simply the amount of human beings that are resident in that country. So if a nation is built by the number, and the number is important, the number or the amount of human beings or population that are resident in a given country, then Nigeria stands a good chance, because right now we're about, is it the 7th or the 9th largest country in the world? And by 2050, we are going to be the 3rd largest country in the world. So we stand a good chance just by the sheer number of our population to be able to build a great nation and one of the most prosperous countries in the world. But that doesn't happen automatically. That might not happen, even though human resources or human capital is the most important ingredient that we need to build a nation, a prosperous nation. But if that human capital is not developed, it's just like saying you have 200 million people like you have in Nigeria, and all these people, 50% of these people cannot even read or write, are not educated. Then you will not be able to compete with a country. So that means that you already lost 50% of your country. So if you have 50% of educated people, automatically you don't have 200 million, you only have 100 million, because they cannot contribute, they cannot compete. But even the 100 million that we have left, we just call them literate in Nigeria, that they can read and write. Literacy, they have literacy, they are literate. But that doesn't mean they have developed human capital. So when we talk about Nigeria right now, for me, as far as I know, I think we only have about less than 10%, maybe 5% of our country that is qualified to be said is humanly developed, that is really competitive enough as human resource with other nations of the world. So if we are talking about, let's even say 10%. If we say it's 10% of Nigeria that is, of our human resource that is developed, that means we can say we only have in our country 20 million people. And I can prove that to you. 10% is 20 million out of our 200 million, right? If you want to know how many people in Nigeria have access to the internet, it's only 18 million people. So basically, it's about that same 10%. Let's say 20 million people that have access to internet. So how will you, if we are 200 million people and only 10% is humanly developed, that has the human capital, so that means that our capacity, our productivity, and our productive ability could only be compared to a country that has 20 million people in their country. So like Ghana even has more than 20. Just like it's Congo, or, you know, it's just be like a small country. It will be like just one of those small European countries. So now, but the downside of that is that the productivity of the country will only be on the level of 20 million people, but the people that will be exploiting that productivity will be 200 million people. So it's like saying 20% of the country working to sustain 200 million people. That is to say, let's say, let me make it simple. Let's say you have 20, it's like you have 20 members of your family. Let's say you have one husband, 3 wives, and maybe 16 children. So you have 20 mouths to feed in your family, but your salary is only 50,000 naira. The same salary it is that there is, but then there is another family that has only 3 members of their family. That is husband, wife, and a son or a daughter, a child. So 3 people, then their income is 50,000 naira. Then another family has 20 people, and their income is still the same 50,000 naira. Who do you think is going to have better quality of life? Definitely a better quality of life will go to that family that has only 3 members of the family with 50,000 naira to feed them. with. So that's exactly the reason why Nigeria has become the poverty capital of the world. Because the amount of people with developed human capital in our country is too small. In fact, in the Western world now, because they don't have too many youth like we have, which is a huge advantage, but they have older people. What they have done now is that they have increased, because they don't want to lose their working, developed human capital. So it used to be that women go on pension at 50 years old. Then they increase it to 55 years. Now they have increased it to 65 years for women to go on pension. And men could stay at work till 70 years. Why? Because everybody is trying to maintain and preserve human capital, because that is what productivity depends on. So in Nigeria, we have a huge problem. Only 10% is sustaining 200 million people. But that is a whole lot of problem. So when, unfortunately, I don't think our government understands the crisis we are in right now. So it doesn't matter how much money we make. The mouth that is consuming that food is too much. There are too many. Okay, let me give you another proof that we don't have more than 10 million people, 20 million people in Nigeria that are contributing to the human capital productivity in Nigeria. You know, of course, we have the unskilled laborers, right? Because the unskilled labor, we have 30% of the population there in agriculture, but using cutlass. You know, the last time they used cutlass in Europe, it was 1,000 years ago. When I show people in this country that I live in, Ukraine, which is not even the top country in Europe, when I show them cutlass, picture of cutlass, they don't know what it is. A hoe, they've never seen it in their life. A cutlass, they've never seen it. So I don't even count them at all. I don't even count all those 30% of the population that is engaged in cutlass and all kind of agriculture. You know, it's not competitive. Now, let me show you another statistic that will help you know that really, you know, we only have about 10%. You know, when we talk about Nigerians, like now I'm talking to you and I'm speaking English. Tell me, how many percentage of Nigerians really understand English? And when the president comes in, he's saying, fellow Nigerians. I'm sorry, but it's stupidity. He's not talking to Nigerians. You know who he's talking to? He's talking to the few 10% elite. Maybe 20% that understands him. Because most people are speaking their local dialect or broken or something. They are not interested. They don't even know the language of GDP, human capital, resources, human development, all those. Most Nigerians don't even understand all those things. So our biggest problem is that we are not developing our human resources. That should be the most important emphasis that the country should be paying. Right now, we're always talking the price of oil, how much something that we produce. Look at our president. I'm a supporter of Buhari, right? In fact, people think I am addicted to Buhari. I'm a supporter. But when you listen to him, not just him, but anybody, all our leaders before Buhari, including Buhari, when you listen to them, they are talking about all these macroeconomy, microeconomy, and these things we are trying to do. They don't get it. The emphasis should be, how do we increase the human capital level, human capital development of our people from 10% to at least 50%? Because right now in Nigeria, if somebody tells you, if you say some people are educated, okay, out of I told you that statistically, we are just 50-something% literate. But out of that, who are the people who are saying that they are literate? The people who are saying that are literate are people who can read and write. Half of those people who say they are literate, 50% of Nigeria is officially literate, okay? And we think that's not bad, but that's one of the worst in Africa. But they can read and write in their local language. How many of them? That is about 30% of those people They can only read and write in their local language, and they can only speak pidgin. We are not talking about the other 50% that cannot even read and write. Even out of the literate that we say we have, only about 20% of them are good enough to speak good English, to hold conversation, and to really understand what's going on. Not just in their local language, but in English. Okay, so that is 20%. But then out of that 20%, how many of them are really educated? Because too many of our people, they went through school, but they are not educated. That's why I've come to the conclusion that not more than 5 to 10%, the people who are really contributing to the economy, who are competing, who are on the level of competing with America, competing with Europe, competing with Asia, competing with Brazil, competing with Japan, that level of human development, we only have about 5%. And I was generous. I said, let's say 10%. Do you know, we think that people are going abroad in Nigeria, right? You know, we have airports, we have all these airports, everybody traveling. Almost everybody in Nigeria has a relative that has traveled abroad. But you know how many, the percentage of all Nigerians that have ever traveled abroad? Oh, sorry, that use the airport in a year. Or not even in a year, but maximum. We have about 14 million people living abroad right now. But people who travel on a regular basis out of Nigeria inside, just about 10 million. So that is the people those are the people you could call the elite. And the people who went through university and high school, some, you know, out of that 10 million, 20 million I'm talking about, how many people finish university? Even those who finish university. So we are in problem. So the key to come out of this problem is to focus on the youth. Because good for us, the larger population of our country are the youth. So the youth is the key to reviving the Nigerian economy or revitalizing Nigerian economy. That is why I'm focusing on the youth. Because the youth are more educated, the youth are more proactive, the youth at least, you know, have a futuristic approach because they have their life ahead of them. So a nation cannot really develop without the recognition and the collective effort of all the citizens, especially the young. But if you really want to be competitive, we need both the young and the old. We need the skilled citizens who are contributing to the human capital, but we also need the unskilled so that we will be able to lift them up. But young people are a crucial segment of our nation's development. Their contributions are highly needed. So young people are our social actors of change that we should focus on. So the youth, we always hear that. When I was small, they used to tell us that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. That you are the leaders of tomorrow. But I think we shouldn't just be satisfied with youth being leaders of tomorrow, but we should also be the partners of today. We should be leaders of tomorrow, but already being partners with the government, with the leaders of today already. And the youth are the most vibrant part of the economy. So if we are talking about revitalizing the economy of Nigeria, what role can the youth play, and what should the youth pay emphasis on? Let me talk about the world in general. This is not concerning the youth, but this is just what the projections are. The projections about the next, they call them the next generators of wealth, or the next creator of wealth for the whole world. Where will the next millionaires and billionaires come from? What are the industries that will produce the most wealthy people? What are the industries that will create more wealth for the world in this next generation that we are going into? So the next business or industry to produce the most wealth for the world will be, number one, information technology. Information technology. So all those things connected to IT, IT, computer, internet, Now, and it's too late to talk about it, to talk to the old people about that. It's the youth. So I want to talk to you people that are listening today and are going to listen later on, that if we want to revitalize the Nigerian economy, let's encourage our young people to go into information technology. Now, but in Nigeria, that includes, of course, entertainment and media. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, maybe intentionally or not intentional, I don't think it was intentional. I think it was just accidental. Nigeria has emphasized more on entertainment and media, maybe more entertainment even than media. So out of this, we have information technology, and media and entertainment, and Nigeria is doing well, not bad in entertainment. But thank God, right now, there's something Nigeria got right in this particular industry. What we got right is Nigerians are going to hate me for this and they're going to attack me. Is Patami. Nigerians hate that man. And they think, in fact, they were pushing for President Buhari to sack him. But if they sack that man, we are going to the hoods again. We are going to go back 20 years or 30 years. One of the greatest things that has happened to Nigeria is Patami. Patami is a minister of information and technology in Nigeria. And guys, go and research him. He was the best student in his university days in Scotland, England, America, Saudi Arabia. Now, there was a time that he was a fanatic, a Muslim Islamic fanatic, right? Because he went to Saudi Arabia, he got, too serious about his Islam, but he repented. He said he repented and became level-headed. But when it comes to the skill, to the profession, he's really very good and he's revolutionizing that industry right now. Maybe it's not fast enough, but it's going very fast. So if the youth want to catch up with the world, this is what China did. No, China did it, but let's say it is actually India that has done a very good job in information technology. Through information technology, Indian economy now is is the top 10 economy in the world. I mean, very competitive, just because they empower the youth. Personally, I will recommend for the federal government to mobilize all the Yahoo boys in Nigeria. Go to all the universities, all those people that are doing 419 and Nigerian scam and those things. We should mobilize them and give them amnesty. Just like they gave amnesty to what do you call those bandits? What do you call them? Niger Delta bandits, or I think they used to call them. What they call them? Bandits, or what they call them? Militants. I think they call them militants. Yeah. So just like they did for Niger Delta militants, they gave them amnesty, and they gave to some Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram soldiers, warriors also, they gave them amnesty. I think the federal government should think about mobilizing all 419 people and give them reorientation, give them education that, please, you can make more money by doing legal IT work than scamming people. And they should give them training. They should do another level of training for them and give them reorientation. And give them moral reorientation, values reorientation, and technological reorientation. I don't know why Patami has not thought about that, but that will be revolutionary. And I think that will probably be the presidency and the National Assembly that could take. Because right now, people who are involved in 419 and Yahoo in Nigeria, in their universities, I think they will be in their millions. There might be over 1 million people or 2 million people. Can you imagine Nigeria equipping and empowering 1 million, 2 million young people to be working in IT? We are going to overtake India. We are going to overtake China. Even this country that I'm in is one of the top countries in IT in the world. So IT is the future. IT, Nigeria, I think they call it ITC. IT is the future. If we could pay attention of our young people, even if the government will not do it, let's take charge ourselves. Soon, maybe by next, I'm coming to Nigeria. People have been saying, come to Nigeria. Why are you only talking about Nigeria? You don't come. I'm coming. And if the government will not do it, I am going to be one of the ones who are going to do it. Let's start the campaign ourselves. Let's equip these Yahoo boys. Let's give them orientation and let's empower them and let them know that they can actually make more money in a legitimate way than risking their lives to go to jail and things like that. Okay, so that is going to be the number one wealth generating industry in the world, and we need to focus on it. So you people that are organizers of this conference, you have influence already on the ground. You have young people you are working with. Why don't you take this campaign to them? Take this campaign to universities. Take this campaign to radio stations, television stations, and because the people who are working and doing scamming, they already know how to use computer. We just need to reorientate them. Let's go and do some work of reorientation. Let's put a target before ourselves. Like, we are going to reach out to 1 million young people, going to deliver them from 419 and Yahoo, and connect them to international IT industry where they are going to be able to contribute, make better living, bring wealth to their own families, and also you contribute to the economy of Nigeria. But number two industry that is going to generate the most wealth for the world in the coming years is what we call the knowledge economy. Knowledge economy. I'm sorry that I'm looking aside, because this is what I'm saying, that I'm not looking at you people there, because I'm looking at my own camera here. And I'm in the studio, so I'm using my own camera so that the quality will be good enough to present to you later on. So anyway, so the second real wealth creating industry in the next years that to come is the knowledge economy. What is the knowledge economy? This is people producing educational materials, not like in the universities. So those are just the formal ones. I mean, these are informal. You go to YouTube, that is knowledge economy right there. You see, some people on YouTube have 10 million people following them, 100 million people. That is because of the knowledge they are giving out. Knowledge economy, and we have a lot of Nigerians that are capable of joining that industry through knowledge, just giving out information. And I see that a lot of Nigerians are active in that area as well. So that is going to be the next industry that's going to produce more millionaires and more wealth for people. But in our country, if, like I said, if it's only 50% that is educated, this industry is very small. It's only not too many people that are going to be active in it, but we still need them. So this is another area where you youth could go and talk to people and encourage them to explore how to give educational materials out, and through knowledge economy. The third wealth generating industry, the third biggest wealth generation industry, is innovation, invention, and innovative solution. So this is about invention. This is about innovation. This is about innovative solutions. Also connected to technology, but it's more about ideas, creativity, innovation, creativity, invention. People who are able to come up with new answers, new technology to bring solution, to resolve issues of kidnapping, hold up, go slow, any security, just anything innovative, technology, innovation. That is another thing that's going to create the biggest wealth. And we are already lagging behind because we don't have enough research institutes in our country. We don't have enough research centers in our universities. We don't have enough technical schools. So, in these three industries that I just mentioned, both in IT, we are lagging behind, let me tell you. The whole world has gone before us, and they have more resources to be able to. We need a lot of will from the government to be able to catch up with the rest of the world. But when it comes to innovation, we might have talented people, but we need the technical capacities as well. So we're also lagging behind. So even in the education material and, knowledge economy, we are also lagging behind. But we can still catch up. But these are not our strength. All these three things I said, IT is not our strength. Knowledge economy is not our strength. We are lagging behind in Africa. Innovation and invention is also not our strength. Even though government and NGOs and civil societies should encourage and campaign and promote these things, but we are still very weak. But the area where we're already strong and where right now we can compete with the world and where we have the potential, the greatest potential, even with all our deficiencies like literacy and things, is agriculture. Agriculture. Now, agriculture is not even included for the rest of the world, for the first worlds. But we are an agrarian society. We are still very local. So we are still very rural. So we have a competitive advantage in this area. And let me quote for you what Akinwumi Adesina. Maybe some of you should know Akinwumi Adesina. Akinwumi Adesina used to be the Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria before he became where he is currently, before he became the president of the African Development Bank. This African Development Bank is a whole African thing. It's a big thing. It's the biggest, such bank in Africa, and it's for the whole of Africa. It's about development of Africa. So he is the president. So what does he think about the next 100 years for Africa and Africans? This is what he said. He said the next generation of millionaires and billionaires in Africa will be in agriculture. That is what he believes. He believes that Africans should focus on agriculture. And it's not the only one. Research has been done. That is where we have competitive advantage right now. If I tell you that in agriculture, Nigeria right now, we are leading the world. We are number one in 4 spots of products. There are 4 products that Nigeria is producing right now that is number 1 in the world. Then there are, I think, 2 products that we are producing that we are number 3 in the world. There are about 2 other products that we are number 4 in the world. And about, number 5 in the world, we have about, I can't remember, but there are few, we are in the top 10 producers of certain things in the world. So we are not really as bad, even though we don't have the technology, we don't have mechanized farming and things. But so I want to encourage the young people who are listening to us that if this is our greatest potential and our comparative advantage, how do we revitalize the economy? How do we get into it as young people? Number 1, don't just go and do agriculture with cutlass and hoe, all right, like our fathers are doing. Your own advantage as young people is to go to internet. Internet is your friend. YouTube is your friend. Knowledge is everywhere now. Combine all those 3 things that I mentioned. IT, combine it with agriculture. When you combine IT with agriculture, you will not believe what you will be able to do. Then combine knowledge economy with agriculture. This is how we are going to be able to do it. Then thirdly, yes, bring innovation, combine innovation and agriculture together. If we are able to combine those 3 things and bring them into agriculture and integrate them into agriculture, we will rule the world. So that is my message to you people. And to cement and affirm that message, I have a video I want you people to see. I combined this video from different videos that I got, but I put them, it's just a few minutes video, and after that I will be willing to answer your questions. So this video will prove my point that agriculture is the way to go. But agriculture with the combination of IT, with the combination of knowledge economy, and with innovation. Okay, let's see the video.
This is rice. You see, I'm picking up this rice, not that I'm happy. I'm not happy. I'm actually very sad. Because what it takes to move this rice, process it into what you can eat and consume in this country, does not take anything. But we import billions, we spend billions of naira to import this. And we are complaining that we are hungry as a people. We are not hungry enough in Nigeria. Look, we know our mumu, our mumu plenty. What you need to process rice, to process 1 trailer of rice every 3 days is exactly what you have here. This is your milling plant. This is your destoner that destone the parboiled rice. You destone the rice, run them into the milling plant. There's a conveyor belt that conveys the rice and then dumps them into the milling plant. This process, most of the time, this process is imported from China. This process is imported from Thailand. We are not angry enough as people. We are not thinking as a people that wants to grow. We are not thinking of the unemployment in Nigeria. We are not thinking of the suffering Nigerian people. We are such a useless people that the practicality of the solution to our problem lies in our hands, lies with us, with every land and people in every sector of this country. We're not invest enough. We're useless for this country. Our problem, the solution to our problem lies right here in Nigeria, but with import rice. With a crazy now, we go hungry, die. Hungry go kill us for this country. We never ready that. We they born like pigs. We they born anyhow. We go born those children. Those children go become terrorists. They go become Boko Haram. They go shop us. They go cook us as food. They go chop them. We useless. So we're not ready in this country. Let us not begin to farm palm kernel in the south. Begin to farm gari in the south. Begin to farm what we can produce. With a crazy way. Let me be right to at the best. Thank you.
After starting his career in Washington, D.C. in 2015, Sheyi gave up everything to return to his parents' land in southwest Nigeria. The 34-year-old engineer traded his suit and tie for jeans and a cap to grow cassava, a popular food in Nigeria. Today he runs a 400-hectare farm with some 30 employees.
Every time I start interacting with people in agriculture, I learn so much that I didn't have a clue about. And that's exciting. I think if I had a job in the US and there's some comforts to it, I'm just showing up to work every day and trying to execute a task.
Behind us there. Rich heirs or investment bankers, an increasing number of highly educated Nigerians are turning to agriculture, bucking the trend of young people leaving the countryside to try their luck in the big cities. For the past 2 years, Peter, a young farmer, has been developing new varieties of sweet potatoes using aeroculture thanks to an ingenious above-ground watering system.
Nobody wants to do the conventional standing in the hot sun and sweating and the labor that comes with that and so forth. If you can combine something with data and technology and automation and so forth, it makes it more attractive.
These young people are convinced that Nigeria's future will depend on massive investments in agriculture, a long-neglected sector where there are millions of dollars to be earned and as many jobs to create. But the challenges are many in a country with a low-skilled workforce and intermittent electricity.
It's not as simple as putting a stick in the ground or a seed in the ground. It's really understanding how to cultivate it in an environment like here. So in the way that we do it, we have to work with a lot of challenges.
In spite of the difficulties, Sheyi hasn't been discouraged. He hopes to quadruple his production next year, cultivating nearly 2,000 hectares. He plans to produce cassava flour, which can be exported abroad.
Samson Ogbole sees agribusiness as the root of sustainable development and job creation. The head trainer at Farm Lab in Ogun State, southwestern Nigeria, believes agriculture must be business-minded, technology-driven and climate-smart. The 38-year-old is also keen to pass on his knowledge to others.
Always remember, if you practice agriculture, you will be poor. Practice agribusiness, you're on the road to wealth. So, what is agriculture? Agriculture is that thing our grandfather did. And as a student, you should ask yourself, how rich was your grandpa? How rich are the pure normal farmers that you know? If they are not wealthy, how can a poor system make you rich? Let's come inside.
Over the past 7 years, Ogbole has trained over 10,000 young Nigerians. For him, agriculture is no way to make a quick buck and requires a hands-on approach.
And a lot of people reach out and I realize not everybody has the amount to pay for training. Now, you don't want people to go into agriculture without being properly trained. If not, they would waste money, waste time, waste resources. So I figured, fine, I am setting up more farms. What if I gave people the opportunity to work and learn at the same time? So instead of looking for money to pay for your lesson fee, for your learning fee and all of that, you come and learn for free and actually set up a farm.
Farmers like Gloria Oyalami hope to scale up their agribusiness using the hydroponic method. This uses water rich in nutrients instead of soil. This makes planting and harvesting possible regardless of season.
I'm looking forward to venture into a greenhouse. Why? Because it's less strenuous, and two, you are able to predict almost accurately, not accurately, but almost accurately, what your output will be, your income, all your financial analysis.
Students built this growing patch. During a one-week program, they learn how to set up a soilless aeroponic farm. Nutrient-laden mist nourishes the plants, which makes maximum use of area and fertilizer.
Soilless farming happens to be a principle farming. If you follow the principle, you can apply it to any plants you want to develop on your farm. So for the trough system, you map out where you want to set up the trough for the plant, and you always create a pathway for workers to pass through for harvesting.
Samson Ogbole and his Farm Lab team are convinced soilless farming could be a blueprint for sub-Saharan African countries to feed themselves sustainably and profitably. With the number of students increasing daily, Ogbole plans to grow his training program across Nigeria.
He is one of the few Nigerians running a commercial sack farm in the country. Abdullahi Yakub studied physics electronics in the university, but had to turn to sack farming when his efforts to secure a job in the oil industry failed.
There are no jobs, so I had to find a way to survive. And it started out as a survival mechanism, but now it has built up into a serious passion I have.
That passion has now further grown into a commercial enterprise. Abdullahi now grows different types of vegetables, which he harvests regularly and sells. His farm is right inside the compound where he lives, so he doesn't have to worry about trespassers.
In my own setup, I put in drip irrigation, so everything is connected to a tank where I just pour water and liquid fertilizer or water-soluble fertilizer anytime I need to water my crops. So I just plant it, and there's a regiment. I just come here every morning and evening. Once, I just turn the water on once for about 5 minutes, switch it off, I go back home. In the evening, I come back, 5 minutes again. So the plant is watered and fertilized at the same time.
And if you think sack farming is not profitable, then take a listen to Adelaja again.
It depends on the crop, actually. When I had 2,000 bags of cucumbers, I averaged 20 bags every week, and I sold each bag at 3,000 to 5,000 naira. So that means I made 60,000 to 100,000 a week, depending on market forces.
He might be making money from his initiative, but Abdullahi says he wants other Nigerians to take to sack farming as well. He has so far trained over 50 persons and continues to run practical classes for would-be sack farmers.
My key mission is to teach people how to live sustainably by adopting sustainable agriculture, and sack farming is the way. And how many people are interested? A lot of people are interested, but I'll say out of 100 people that are interested, 95 are women. I don't know why, but to be honest, women take sack farming more easily than men.
And for those who are thinking of setting up a sack farm, Abdullahi says it's not only cheap, but less time consuming. In just 2 days, one can set up a farm of 200 bags. And guess what? The bags litter virtually every street in Nigeria. But above all, a sack farmer doesn't have to bother about large spaces as the traditional farmer. Deji Badmo, CGTN, Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, let me start with the second question. Yes, I'm a strong supporter of Buhari, but that doesn't mean that I agree with him in everything he does. For example, when the last interview he gave, he said that they should reclaim the pathway for the herders. That is crazy. That is madness. In 21st century, to be talking about reclaiming pathway for cattle and herdsmen to be going about, roaming about the street and with... yes, that is rubbish. That is... He's just a man of his own... he's a man in the past. He's a man of his own generation. I mean, that is a disappointment. He shouldn't be making that kind of statement right now. He should rather be telling people to forget and ban no cattle ranching. Cattle, whatever, roaming. And, rather establish ranches and establish, stationary ranches and farms where people, yes. So in that area, even though I support Buhari, and the reason I support Buhari is very simple. I see him as a honest man. And that's number one. And I like his anti-corruption crusade, even though I will give him a fail mark. I don't think he has a pass mark with me with his anti-corruption. But he himself as a man of integrity, I like, number one. Number two, I think the problem, I wouldn't have chosen and I wouldn't have supported Buhari if I had a better choice. But while I'm alive, if the only choice is between Buhari and Atiku, I will keep on voting Buhari rather than vote Atiku one time. I would rather deny my citizenship than vote Atiku. So that is why I personally supported Buhari, not because he's performing well. I'm not satisfied with his performance, just like most Nigerians. Now the second, sorry, do you want to add something to that, Simon?
No, I'm very okay.
Okay. Very okay. So the second question, the pastor that says we should have plan B is my friend as well, but they know my position. Well, I would personally will not say they shouldn't have plan B. Please, in fact, the only thing I want to tell him is, please make you pack your load quick. And, pack all your people who are sympathizers and who love you. Pack them away from Nigeria as fast as possible. Me, I'm going to pack myself from here. In Europe, I've been living here for 35 years. I will pack myself from here and move back to Nigeria in your place. Not just, even if you remain there, I will still move back. But I will not just move back by myself. I am coming with 2,000 people from this country, from Scandinavia countries, from Asia countries, from America, from Europe. I'm coming back to Nigeria, not alone. I want to bring 2,000 people with me to help me develop my country, just like God used me to develop their country here. That is number two. Number three, if I will ever have influence on politics in Nigeria, and I know most Nigerians will never support this, and they will think I'm mad again, but I know exactly what I'm doing. We have deficiency of people in Nigeria, of human capital. That human capital human capital deficiency that I spoke about could be resolved to a large extent in a very quick way and in a very unconventional way. How do I see that human capital deficiency being resolved? If I were Nigerian government and if I could talk to them, I will go to India, I will go to China, I will go to Brazil, I will go to Europe and recruit 10 million Europeans, 10 million Chinese, and 10 million Indians, and 10 million Latin Americans to come to Nigeria. But only skilled laborers, people who are experts and specialists in different areas of life. I will make a registry of 10 million, all of them 10 million, not 10 million different people. I'm sorry, I don't mean 10 million Chinese, 10 million, that will be 40. Okay. I'm talking about all together, 10 million. If I could have that power to do that, I would do that. Bring 10 million skilled, highly skilled people who will train, and I will deploy them in Nigeria, not just to come and live anywhere, to train our people in modern agriculture, bring their technical know-how, bring their innovations. I know personally for a fact so many Americans that are tired of America. As a matter of fact, in Europe here where I'm living, Scandinavia, Germany, and Europe, England, 40% of Europeans are living in depression. Depression. That is where they have everything. Anywhere they have everything, life stops. For Europeans, life has stopped since. They are looking for where to go and revive their lives. So I would have brought them to Europe, to Nigeria. They will make our people literate in a very short time. And even the ones who are finishing university in Nigeria without skills, those 10 million people, they will increase our skill level. Our universities will be equipped with them. They will start research institutes. Everything we lack, I will start with foreigner and Nigeria, foreigner, Nigeria, foreigner, Nigeria, everywhere. And we will eat development and civilization in a very short time, just like China did it. But Nigerian people will say I'm mad for that suggestion, because they will say, how can you bring foreigners here? They will take our jobs. Yes, but this is the solution for us to be able to come out of our economic disaster in one generation. But if we want to do it the way they are doing it now, we will need many generations before we could come out of our trouble. Simon, I know you might be having more questions in your mind. We could throw them all.
No, I won't, for want of time, sir, I will allow other people to throw theirs, the general audience. I have a couple more, but let me allow them.
Did I answer your own questions?
No, you answered very well. Like the last answer you just gave about Europeans. I recently led a project, Dangote refinery project, and they have a lot of Asians there. I mean, Chinese and Indians, tens of thousands of them, and what they brought in, the technical know-how they brought has really helped. It really helped finish the fertilizer plants, and it's helped take the refinery plant to level. So yeah, I really agree with your solution, sir. You
see, Dangote has sense. But if you tell an average Nigerian that Dangote is one of the greatest gifts that Nigeria has, they will attack you. They will say this and that. But that man is one of the best Nigerians that we have alive.
Very, very sound. That's what he did to the refinery. It's really helped. It brought the place up with not too much expenses, not paid too much, but they're able to build the fertilizer, and then the refinery is almost 70% complete, sir.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Yes.
There's a question on the chat box, DSS.
Okay.
Someone is asking, do you have the conducive, secure environment to keep these people, the people you talked about, that you're going to bring in as you come?
No, we don't have it right now, because, we know what is happening with the headsmen. We know what is happening. We know what is happening with kidnappers. And we know what is happening with money ritualists, especially when you are bringing white people, kidnappers. It's like putting food before before kidnappers. So I know that is not going to be easy, but for any challenge, we have to come with the solutions. So we will not come just like, empty-handed, come and take us. No, we are going to come and provide security. And you know what? Let me tell you what. Europeans and white people, they know how to secure themselves. Those thieves, they will not come near them. By the time we give them the access to protect themselves, they will kill all of them. But then it will be another problem with Nigerians. Nigerians will begin to say these foreigners are killing them.
Racism.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes, so I have a question here for you.
Yes, yes.
I have a question here.
Yes, please.
In the general election we had, you did not just have Atiku, you also had Kingsley Moghalu.
Yes.
Contesting that election.
Yes.
So why did you still opt for Buhari against these technocrats?
Very good. Kingsley is my friend. Showore is my friend. Fela told me he sees me like a mentor. But still, all of them, even me, I couldn't bring them together. Some of their own friends came to me and said, please help us bring them together. I spoke to them one by one, but all of them are too ambitious. Nigerians. Nobody wants to step aside for the other one to take the leading position. Every one of them wants to become number one citizen. What is their problem? I think Nigerians are too ambitious. So in my own estimation, or in my own conclusion, I just came to the conclusion that, look, these old politicians, they are wiser than the young ones. Because the old politicians, all of them also want to become president. But they step down, they humble themselves, and they reach compromise. And we are not talking about these politicians, we are not talking about 10 people. In every state, all these politicians, there are hundreds of them, thousands of them. Maybe many of them are millionaires. They are big men. But even though they are big men, they still humble themselves and allow one person to go. But we, our young people, nobody wants to step down for the other one. As long as that is the situation, even me, I didn't support Kingsley because I know he will not win anything by himself. I didn't support Showore. I didn't support, even though I supported them, I gave them platform, I interviewed them, but I didn't campaign for them because they will not win. Why should I campaign for somebody I know will already lose? So that's why out of the ones who could win, and the ones who could win were Buhari or Atiku. That is why I supported, I chose Buhari over Atiku.
It was more of taking a lesser devil.
Yes.
Yes. So, sir, going forward, 2020 general election is coming. What do you think we can do to avert what just happened?
No, with what is coming, I tell you what, Showore will not go under Kingsley. Kingsley will not go under Showore. In fact, I spoke to them personally, and Kingsley said he agrees for everybody to come together, but for him to be the one. Showore also said, I agree for everybody to come together, but for me to be the one. It will be a repetition of the same thing. So I don't even want to waste my time with them, with those young people. They are not serious. They are too ambitious for their good. So I think it is still going to be a contest between PDP and APC. So now the question is, who will win the primaries? So a lot of people are becoming so hopeless that they are thinking we should just divide the country. Oduduwa wants to go away, Biafra wants to go away. That is a path into self-destruction. I will never support that, and I'm going to campaign with my last breath against it. And I'm going to fight anybody that wants to attempt to divide Nigeria, and they will not succeed. Nigeria will not break. Nigeria will not be divided, because I'm proud to see a Benue person and call him my brother. I'm proud to see a Benin person and call him my brother. I'm proud to see an Anambra person, I call him my brother. I'm proud to see an Ogoni person and call him my brother. I'm proud to see a Katsina person, I'm calling my brother. If you have lived in Europe like for 35 years, like I've lived here, even when I see somebody from Burkina Faso, I will begin to jump and say, I'll treat him as if he's from my village. If when you are living among only white people, you will discover that, hey, even an Hausa or Igbo or Igbira or Tif, or those ones are like they are my family members. I'm saying even from Rwanda, you will think that they are like your brothers. We don't know what we have. So for anybody to be talking about breaking down Nigeria and going, no, that one, they no go win. It will not work for them. There are people like us that will give everything for them to fail. It will not work, because Nigeria by 2050, Nigeria is going to become number 3 country in the world. We would have overtaken America as the 3rd largest country in the world. Even in the economy, even the World Bank says by 2050, Nigeria will be one of the top 10 countries in the world. We are going to be like China. When I was coming to this country 35 years ago, Nigeria's standard of living was higher than that of China. Nigerians were earning $1,000 on the average, but Chinese were earning $300. But in 30 years or 35 years, see what they have happened because of what they have done because of unity. And we have the same potential because of our population. And somebody wants to break that down, they must, I think they are not thinking straight, anybody who wants to do that. So I personally think what we have to do in the next election is to find a candidate with a track record. Because even though I trust in Mongalu, and he wrote a book about how he wants to build a new Nigeria, I read the book, fine, great. But his track record is not enough, even though he was in the central bank. Central Bank of Nigeria, and he did well. Yes, but his track record is not enough to say he can manage all the crises in Nigeria. The same thing with Showore. Showore is an activist, And I know, for example, if I could shoot, I would have advised Showore to go and head EFCC. Don't be president. Go and head EFCC and shut and put everybody in prison there if you want, or be or something like that. But you don't have to. Everybody cannot be president. So that is what I would have put Kingsley or Mogalu maybe in charge of central bank or in charge of economy or finance. No, but everybody will not be. If we can unite like that, it would have been good. But if I don't find out of the new people, out of the young Nigerians who is able to, the best candidate for Nigeria would have been Dangote, but he doesn't like politics. He doesn't want to go to politics. So then we have to look for the best candidate in PDP, or the best candidate in APC. The best candidate in PDP, I think, would have been Peter Obi. Is it Peter Obi, the former Anambra governor? I think he would have been Peter Obi would have been the best president, but he cannot win. He cannot win because of the politics that PDP has been playing, especially towards some part of Nigeria, and also he cannot win because of iPod. iPod has really made a lot of people to think negatively about the East, about Easterners. So unfortunately, he will not win. So we have to now think about who can win from PDP and who is the best candidate. Or if we cannot find it in PDP, let's go to APC and see who could win in APC. I think APC, personally, people will hate me for this again. No, people will not like what I say. But personally, I think Rochas is a good person. Igbos don't like me saying that. Even people from his state, from Imo State, say Rochas. No, that's what everybody is saying. But I think Rochas is not a bad candidate from APC, or unless you are going to go for people like Ngige. But the best one that I think would be good for APC would have been people like, when I say these two, people attack me and say, you have lost your mind. But I think Rotimi Amechi could have been a very good one, but from APC. But most likely, the one that will probably go through will be Asiwaju, most likely. But with Asiwaju, I'm not even afraid of him. People say he's corrupt. I'm not even afraid of that one because he has track record. I can see his result in Lagos. I can see the result of his disciples. I can see the people he has raised up. I can see his leadership skills. I can see, so I'm not even afraid of him being. So if I don't see any new generation, leader for our generation, then I will have to settle for one of the old ones and choose one of the less evil ones, like last time.
Okay. Thank you so much, DSA.
I didn't hear what you said, sir.
No, I'm asking the participants if they have any questions.
Okay, let me. Maybe I should chip in one more question. I read about Dr. Sunday Adelaja's Orange Revolution
in Ukraine. Yes.
I wanted to know a little more about it. I think I didn't really understand it. Is it a political revolution or what was it about?
Oh yes.
Is it something we can replicate here?
Yeah, if you want us to do that in Nigeria, that's very radical. I have an idea of Orange Revolution for Nigeria, but nobody is going to. I'm even afraid of mentioning that because people will think I've lost my mind. The Orange Revolution idea in Nigeria, what I will see for Nigeria is let's cancel all elections, not military. So I'm against military something, but let's stop democracy. That's what I would do. All this campaigning, people giving rise to poor people to come and vote. Let's stop all that mess. Let's stop democracy for the next 10, 20 years in Nigeria. Stop democracy. No election, no campaign, no party politics. Let's do a government of national unity. And what do I mean by that? Let's get the best from every sphere of life. The best let all the businessmen in the country come and give us the best 2 or 3 businessmen to represent them in the national parliament. Let all the regions come together. let's say Southwest, let them give us their 10 best children to represent them. So it's going to be from regions. Right now, what we practice democracy is only geography, from from where you live and territorial geography. But no, I would have said the Parliament of National Unity should be including, yes, regions and geography. So every state has, let's say, 10 people. But apart from geographical representation, we also need skills representations. So the youth will come together and organize themselves and give us their 10 best. Then engineers will give us their top minds. 5 top engineers in the country, or 10. Then businessmen will give us the top 10 businessmen. Writers will give us their best ones. Students will give us their best ones. Just will represent all segments of the society. And instead of 2 parliaments, we'll have 1 parliament. And all these 300 or 400 people will be representing the whole country. And they will choose president. Yes, they will choose who the president will be. And the vice president, maybe they will do 1 president, 6 vice presidents, different, 1 for economy, all the spheres. Agriculture and things like that. And these people will manage the country. And the only thing we are going to focus on is economic growth, development. How to make Nigeria the first world. Everybody, the best mind, nobody will complain. It will be the best engineers, the best mathematicians, the best professors, the best citizens. Every community must give us their best sons. So all those people, and we are not doing election every 3 years, every 4 years. No election. We are only building the country. And if we have, and nobody is being paid, nobody will be paid for it.
Like China.
Yes, like China. And nobody will be paid for it. You are not being paid. You might be giving stipend, but no pay. But if you are called for corruption, you are disgraced. And your own people are disgraced also. So let us say we find somebody from an engineer who is corrupt. That is not just going to be disgraced and punished. The old people who represent, who nominated him, they will have reduction in their budget because you recommended somebody that you didn't vet for, you cannot vet for, and so your budget will reduce. All of you will suffer. Okay, let's say one state recommended somebody who is corrupt. Their national allocation will suffer. 10% of your allocation will drop because you represented somebody who is corrupt. So next time you will not nominate anybody who is corrupt because you will not like your budget to reduce and your development something to reduce. So when you want orange revolution, I don't think Nigeria are ready. They will kill me. But I think this is the only way to save Nigeria. I don't know what you say, Simon.
It's a very good suggestion, but like you said, in our climate, it may not be practical. Because the way we think here, a lot of people are not exposed, are not gone out of the country, and so they are just okay and comfortable with the status quo. So it's going to take a lot of exposure to even bring with start thinking or agree with that level of thinking.
I agree with you. So, but you are the one who asked about the orange revolution.
Yeah, no, you answered very well. I just wanted to see your this thing because we always in the future, if God gives us the opportunity to lead, we always take out this idea, we always fine tune the ideas or some parts of the ideas if according to the time and season. Right?
Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, DSA.
Okay, somebody is asking, under which constitution will these political ideas be implemented? It will be like we did, when the military people come, you know what they do? They come and they stop the constitution. What they call it? Decrease, yes. They stop the constitution and they begin to just issue decrees. But what we will do is that we are going to say, this constitution, we are stopping it. These new people that are now representing everybody, every region, every profession, they are agreeing to come up with a new constitution. So that's one of the first things they are going to do. Come up with a new constitution and then focus on development.
DSA, this is hard to chew. a lot of questions going on. How would this be possible? Where do we start from? How can we get it right? But I believe from what you have shared, we need to begin from the information. We need to start getting people oriented about things like this. And then from there, it might be easier to then get them into thinking in this other order. DSA, I would like to have you again on this call. If you would permit me, you are my mentor, of course. The first day I spoke, I just messaged you, you called me, and we spoke for close to an hour. I knew that you were somebody different, because I know how it would have taken me a lot of processes to meet with people of your kind in our nation. So DSA, we would like to have you back on this call. I know there's a lot to talk about with what you have done, and then I'll be back again.
Thank you so much.
That's fine with you.
Thank you, sir.